Hello there, this is Mad Mike. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about some news that came out, I believe, 2 days ago about Zack Snyder. And apparently, Zack Snyder is partnering with Netflix to do I believe it's listed as a movie called Army of the Dead. Now, so far, they've released a plot synopsis. They haven't said who's going to star in this film yet, or series. It leaned, from what I could tell, it was talking about a film, but I'm not putting it out of the realm of possibility that this could be a mini series of some sort. So there's a few big things here. First of all, this is going to be Zack Snyder's first big project since the Justice League debacle, which made Warner Brothers look very, very bad, and had a lot of people scrambling for Snyder's original cut of the Justice League film as opposed to the one that was cut together by Joss Whedon. And personally, I actually would like to see the Snyder cut of Justice League just to see what the differences are. Maybe not even just to say if it was a better movie than the Whedon version, just to see tonally if it was more consistent and if they tried to put more stuff in it. Because there's been a lot of information that's come out about it by people that have supposedly seen test screenings of it and things like that. So, and this is also the first film that him and his wife will be working on after the unfortunate death of their daughter during the production of Justice League. So let's just look at what we know so far. Now this now obviously we have a title. Reportedly, this project was a development of Warner Brothers. It's in 2007, I believe, is when it was listed. And Warner Brothers pretty much backshelved it. They didn't really want to do it. They kind of just put it. It seems like they kind of just put it on the docket just to appease Snyder, who they wanted for other films at the time. I believe 2007 he had done Watchmen, or he did Watchmen that year. And then they had him for Man of Steel and Batman v Superman and Justice League and all that stuff. So they kind of just kept putting that film on the back burner. And now it seems that Snyder has taken that film and he has taken it to Netflix. And Netflix has given him a $90 million budget to make this movie, which is astronomical for a zombie film. And that's what this is. And they also released a short plot synopsis. And I'll give you the gist of it here, is that Las Vegas is infested with zombies, and a group of thieves is looking to raid a casino vault and perform the quote-unquote biggest heist in history. Now, the premise does sound interesting. I don't mind that idea. I think that looking for money in a zombie apocalypse is a little ass backwards. But if it gives the characters motivation and the movie looks cool, I can live with that. And this is the first time Snyder's gone back to the zombie subgenre since his 2004 remake of Dawn of the Dead, which I do like. I enjoy the 2004 one, even though the original George A. Romero version it has a special place in my heart. But I do enjoy the 2004 version, even though it still follows the basic premise of a bunch of people stuck in a mall during a zombie apocalypse. It does take a bit more story elements to originality. The fast zombies is a big one, which kind of changes the atmosphere of the film as opposed to the slow, lumbering ones from the original. And then you also have the difference in the survivors. There's a lot more of them. The way that they actually escape is a lot different. And ultimately, the plot itself is very, very different. And that again, that goes to a good remake, which there are very few of. But a good remake is one that takes the premise of the original, but turns all the other story elements completely on their head in a good way. And we've seen that go awry in other remakes. But 2004, Dawn of the Dead, I think, did it better than most. So I'd be interested to see how this turns out. Now, I'm not one of those die-hard Snyder fans. I'm not somebody that loves everything that he's done. I think that some things he has done are complete crap. I think Sucker Punch is confusing, doesn't make a lot of sense, is mainly just there for a visual piece. It does have some insane things in that movie, but again, not a lot of it makes sense. And then you can look at, Batman v Superman, I consider a complete train wreck of a movie because it's a superhero movie that puts you to sleep for 2 hours of it. And I'm talking about the ultimate cut. I have seen the theatrical cut, but the ultimate cut, even though it is superior and it does iron out some plot holes, I still find it very, very boring. And then, of course, Justice League, which, unless they release a Snyder cut, we'll never know exactly what his Justice League looked like. But the one that we did get, which I presume is, at least 50% Snyder, is not good. So I don't really care much for those movies. I like The Dawn of the Dead. I like 300. I like Watchmen. I like Man of Steel. So I like a majority of his movies, I guess. Now I wouldn't say, other than Watchmen, I wouldn't say any of those movies wowed me in any sense. The Superman movie was roughly what I expected it to be. 300 was an amazing film. But again, it was kind of it was what it was advertised as. Watchmen was the one that kind of blew me away in the sense that the portrayals mainly of the comedian by Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Rorschach by Jackie Earle Haley stole the show in that film. And I think that those two roles, especially Rorschach, I mean, you can tell by my channel I love Rorschach, but those were the two performances that I felt really carried that movie and really made that a really great movie for me. But again, it's one of those things at this point that Snyder is going to move on from those movies. I think that it's been stated by Warner Brothers that they really don't want anything to do with him. Stated in every way, but actually verbally stating it. So I think this would be a good palate cleanser for him. He can go back to the zombie genre. He can do something kind of crazy where he doesn't have the expectations of the world on him. And I'm actually kind of eager to see it. And it has a good budget. It has actually what I would consider an above average budget for a zombie film of $90 million. I mean, that's something that you could look at. I can't remember. I believe the most recent Mad Max was something around those lines. It was like 100 to 120 million. So I'm curious what Zack Snyder can do with all that. And he's a very good visual storyteller. So we'll see. But anyway, I just wanted to go over that recent news and say thank you again for watching these videos. Looks like the Alita video actually blew up a lot in the last few days. But again, like the video, leave a comment on what you think about this, and hit the bell for notifications. And remember, I live my life free of compromise. Do you?